We may well be able to see 100% of the physical world, but when it comes to the electromagnetic spectrum, we can only see 1%. We have radio waves, microwaves, infrared, ultraviolet, X-ray, gamma rays, and then visible light. And this is only on what we know of, which makes up 5%. The other 95%, according to scientists and cosmologists, is filled up with dark energy and dark matter, the mysterious invisible space that we know little of. Therefore, there is a strong chance that there are electromagnetic fields and wavelengths that exist but have yet to be undetected by today's scientists. These undetected fields could be what a lot of esoteric beliefs, systems, and practices refer to, such as meditation or even psychedelics such as ayahuasca. Trying these methods open up your brain to a different state, spectrum, and frequency that is not usually available through the main senses. This in mind, and the untapped potential, that is 95% of it, it could be argued that an advanced race could have access to a whole new reality. And the best way to theorize this is on the fact that we are also electrical beings and can access this. Our very being of life stems from the electromagnetic pulses that, upon thinking, moving, or feeling, light up our circuits and nervous systems. And our heart is a powerhouse of electrical power too. It creates an electrical field around you, infused on how you are feeling and that given emotion. Is this why when you walk into a room you can feel another person's vibe? And even if it is opening up through the thread of science and spirituality, it still doesn't sit completely within the current model. Our deep connection with energy and electric makes it plausible that this could be the case for other sentient life, an advanced race who has maybe mastered this or is naturally able to experience this. Looking at the UAP subject as a domain of advanced access to higher realms of frequencies could also explain the UFO experiences that contactees who have had unwilling and willing contact. Whatever your stance on Stephen Greer, there is numerous footage and witness accounts strongly suggesting that CE5's methods do work. And for reference, CE5 stands for close contact of the fifth kind. Here, groups of people would go into a meditative state to will UFO contact. And these experiences, although popularized by Stephen Greer, have been held by thousands of accounts of people being able to do this. In the CE5 protocol, when you are in this meditative state, to initiate contact, you need to reach out with the intention of peaceful contact. You must open your heart and do it with love. I like to view this as we are the receivers, and like a computer, we can receive information depending on what we are sending out through the internet. Or like the medium, who could be naturally attuned to different electromagnetic planes and frequencies, who are able to open like a beacon to sense this information. And that may sound fluffy, but remember what I said about our heart and the electromagnetic field it produces. Well, scientific and quantum theory could offer an answer on how this could work. To begin, let's open our minds to the possibility that consciousness is not created by our brains. Our brains may perceive it, but it does not generate it. And our brains, our heart, are the conduits to receive consciousness. Consciousness, therefore, is non-local. Non-locality is two or more systems that can communicate regardless of distance, which means there is a force which connects and strings all things together. This is called quantum non-locality, which is still challenging today's current physics model. Einstein referred to it as spooky. This belief is now becoming slowly more accepted, and many think that this could help the consciousness, psychic, and paranormal aspects answer the UFO and ET subject. So if there's a way to communicate non-local, then it means we must have a device to do this, which for the topic of this discussion is us, through meditation, for example. It also means that we must have a way to control this, as we have seen, as people actively turn this on, whether it's remote viewing, contacting spirits, to contacting extraterrestrial life. This may sound wacky, but Thomas Young and the infamous slit experiment shows us how this could be possible. The double slit experiment is a 19th century investigation into the properties of light that has since been found to demonstrate the wave-particle duality of photons, electrons, and this experiment showed that their state can change based on if there was an observer. Without an observer, it changed from bundle energy into potential energy. It changed its state on its own. It suggests a photon or electron can act as a wave of potential energy, uncoordinated and non-local in nature, but once an observer watches it, this wave of potential energy will collapse its state into a particle. And since photons are the force carried for the electromagnetic force in which we experience reality itself, it reveals to us that reality could just be a projection of what we see. The same way we are energetic beings means that we can speculate that ETs are also energetic beings. The same way that we can manipulate particles, it is therefore not crazy to conceive that an advanced being has unlocked the power to this as well. The same way your computer receives information through the internet, ETs could be able to connect with individuals whilst on their home planet. This relationship relates to the notion that they could travel etherically but manifest physically. It can also answer why abductees and various cases seem to happen in a hypnagogic state. As we are about to enter the realm of dreams, the state that could be a higher dimension, it's where people have premonitions, lucid dreaming, abductee experiences. Most, if not all, my experiences have descended from this space as well. This could explain the CE5 incidents. It explains how abductees and contact cases have a constant theme that thoughts would just appear in their heads without these beings even moving their mouth. Even the very nature of the craft's movement, the way they materialize and dematerialize, abductees' cases of loss of time, sleep paralysis, or experiences that seem to relate to the consciousness and psychic and, dare I say, paranormal. And this aspect right here is where various scholars and academics have related the UFO subject to religious and potentially divine experiences. Jacques Vallée, the famous ufologist, was one of the first people to really imprint this idea of the UFO phenomena being a psychic and paranormal experience, and the one that could be the overarching connection to religious, divine experiences, spiritual. Then we have John Keel, ufologist and author of the 1970 book UFOs Operation Trojan Horse. Keel argued that a non-human or spiritual intelligence source has staged whole events over long periods of time in order to propagate and reinforce certain belief systems, for example, monsters, ghosts, and demons. He said, "I abandoned the extraterrestrial hypothesis in 1967 when my own field investigations disclosed an astonishing overlap between psychic phenomena and UFOs. The objects and apparitions do not necessarily originate on another planet and may not even exist as permanent constructions of matter. It is more likely that we see what we want to see and interpret, such as visions, according to our contemporary beliefs." These words suggest that these entities could be multidimensional beyond space-time, thus they could coexist with humans, yet still remain undetected. Then there is Joseph Allen Hynek, who was an American astronomer, professor, and ufologist. He believed there was arguments for both, but he did posture that observations of materialization and dematerialization, or the changing of form in front of witnesses, and the puzzling question around telepathic communication, or the sudden stillness in the presence of the craft, levitation of cars or people, and the development of psychic abilities by some after an encounter. And this idea is becoming more and more popular as more people come forward with out-of-this-world experience. It forces us to open the doors to the unknown. It is a known fact that the Stargate project was a real secret US government program established in 1978 and terminated in 1995 due to apparently it never being useful in any intelligence operations. The Stargate project created a set of protocols designed to make the research of clairvoyance and out-of-body experiences more scientific. The Stargate's project was mainly focused on remote viewing, with special cases having the ability to psychically see events, sights, and information from a great distance. At the time, these ideas were deemed too crazy, but now they're starting to really come back into the commercial world the more we delve into this area. These beings, and I believe they are real, clearly have a deeper understanding of the world than the cosmos, and bearing in mind how many times we have been wrong before, we should be open to this idea of spirituality and science here to come closer together than ever before. Our ancients knew this, and now it is time for us to embrace this new way of looking at life and potentially the UAP topic. Thank you guys for watching. If you're new here, my name is Laszlo. This is my YouTube channel, UFO World. If you enjoyed today's video, give me a little like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts. My ultimate goal here is to raise awareness around the UFO subject and drive disclosure. Take care, and I'll see everyone next week.